Let us see the cost centers for creating the cost center and cost center groups. Go to data menu and select these submenus. To use cost centers, we have already seen we need to go to options. In edit options, in the other option, we have to click this option of use cost centers. Then in a data menu, cost center groups and cost centers option is available. So this time we'll create cost centers. Say in our business there are two cost centers. One is a sales, enter. Another is a service, enter. So these are cost centers which are created. Okay. When you create a cost center, if you want to use them in vouchers, so when you enter a sales voucher, you can enter the cost centers on which the sale is booked, or the percentage of sale for cost center sales and cost center service. When you make any expense, say electricity expense, you can enter the amount. It's like some amount is booked against the cost center sales and the remaining amount under cost center service. So let us make certain voucher. Say payment voucher I'm paying on 7th July, and through HDFC Bank we are making payment of 1000, and we are paying this amount, say T expenses. Here AQURA asks you the cost center split. Suppose for sales I give 500 and for service 500, so exact 50-50. Say OK. So you have this cost centers divided in two parts, like one is sales and service. When I click on T expenses, you will see the letter C in a blue color is activated, and when you click here it will show how this amount 1000 rupees is divided among the cost centers you have defined. So we have entered this voucher. Suppose we want to make certain other expense, so go to payment and do it. Let us see some other way of doing this. We can define this cost center split at account level. I mean, if you want to divide say electricity as 75% for service, as service consumes more electricity, and 25% for sales, so you can give that formula. You can divide them while creating the account. Say Control A, I will take an account electricity. It is already there, so I will edit that account. So initially we haven't given any cost centers split, so we'll give electricity cost center split. Click here on the cost center, and we want to define cost center split now. So I uncheck this option as defined for a parent group. I don't want to use it now. Ask while entering vouchers. So what we'll do is we'll uncheck this. We don't want AQURA to ask us what is the split. Instead we want AQURA to calculate automatically the split. Say add sales, percentage is 25. Okay. Add service, say remaining amount is 75%. Okay. So AQURA is accepted in electricity. 75% goes to service, 25% goes to sales. Similarly, you can divide this salary or vehicle expenses, means petrol expense, or let's create certain account. So add say conveyance. It's under expenses indirect. Oh, so conveyance edit. So we haven't given the cost centers, so click in the cost centers. I don't want it as defined under parent group, so I like to ask while entering vouchers. Now add for a sales the conveyance is 50%, so roughly for sales 50% is spent, and for service remaining 50%. So when I pay a conveyance voucher, so 50% will be expenditure from sales and 50% will be from service. Click OK. Let us put vouchers. So when I pay payment from HDFC Bank 1200 rupees on electricity, so we are paying 1200 on electricity. So see here a letter C appears. When you click on electricity, if you want to see what is the split, AQURA has calculated automatically. Click here. The sales is 300 and service is 900. So this is exactly 25% and 75%. So I hope this is clear now. Similarly, if you pay for petrol, so from cash 500 on conveyance. So AQURA calculates automatically conveyance, say 50-50%, sales 50%, service 50%. Okay. Now, similarly, when you make any sale, you can assign cost centers. Let's see the sales voucher. Using standard sales voucher, we are selling goods to customer enterprise. We are still not created item, will not use items. We are selling worth 10,000. Okay, so that's it, and this is second sale, so no tax. Here AQURA will ask cost centers. So suppose I am selling equipment for which service is also required. I can give an amount, say 9,000 for 9,500 for sales, 9,500 for sales, and for service enter 500. So total is 10,000. So service has earned 500 rupees. While purchasing, you can give a number, supplier 1, supplier 2 company. You are purchasing goods, no items, worth 10,000. Cancel. So here when you give cost centers, suppose I want to give 100% to sales cost centers. Okay, close it. So we have created the cost centers, we have used the cost centers. Now from browsers we have an option of viewing the cost centers, cost center profit and loss, and cost center profit and loss for groups. So let us see the cost centers. So when you say sales and service, so sales cost center, opening balance, debit transactions, credit transactions, closing balance. Service as a cost center, opening balance, debit transactions, credit transactions, and closing balance. So this is a trial balance for the particular cost centers. Then like to see the profit and loss for sales. It will show you the profit and loss for sales cost center. So sale account is 9,500. Expenses part which is booked on sales is conveyance, electricity, tea expenses. So the profit under a sales cost center is 8450. Similarly for service, in the sales account we have entered one voucher and 500 was the component which was booked on service cost center. Okay, in that we made expenses Okay, so we are in the loss. Here it shows a loss of 1150. Okay, so we have seen the cost centers creation, we have seen the usage of the cost centers, we have seen how AQURA automatically splits the amount, and we have seen how to see the co cost center profit and loss account. So